You are 24. You have $10,000 in a savings account earning 0.4%. That's $40 a year. You've had this account since you were 16. It has fed you nothing. On a Tuesday in March, you open a brokerage app. You transfer the $10,000. You don't buy a hot stock. You don't buy crypto. You buy a boring total market index fund with a 3-letter ticker your friend at work has never heard of. It holds thousands of American companies at once. You commit to something small, $700 a month, every month, no matter what. It's a car payment you don't have. It's dinners you don't take. It's the new jeans you decide you don't need. The first month, the fund pays $27 in dividends. It reinvests automatically. You own a few more shares now. Not enough to notice, but you notice. Because for the first time in your life, money grew while you were sleeping. You don't tell anyone. There's nothing to tell yet. At $10,000, the number is nothing. The habit is everything. And the habit is the only thing that will get you to any of the numbers that come after. The first rule, at $10,000, you're not investing to get rich. You're investing to prove to yourself that you can hold. You are 27. 3 years have passed. You've never missed a monthly contribution, not when the market dropped 12%. Not when your friend told you crypto was going to $1 million. Not when your girlfriend suggested using it for a vacation. The math is boring. 36 months of $700 is $25,200 in contributions. The market averaged around 8% a year during that stretch, its ordinary long-term average. Your $10,000 quietly became about $12,600 on its own. Add reinvested dividends. You're at $50,000. You didn't get lucky. You just kept showing up. So did the market. The dividend now is $166 a month, roughly a 4% yield. Your electric bill arrives the same week, $158. You do the math you've never done out loud. Your electric bill could be paid by money you didn't earn. You don't actually pull the dividend out, you let it reinvest and pay the bill from your paycheck. But the math is real, and the math is the point. Your coworker just bought a new truck. He's excited. You eat leftover chicken from a container your mother packed. You say nothing. The second rule, at $50,000, the number isn't what pays your bills. The rate the number produces is. You are 29. 2 years later, your salary has gone up twice. You raised your contribution to $900 a month with each raise. You didn't inflate your lifestyle. The math continued. 24 more months of contributions. 2 more years of average returns turned $50,000 into about $58,000 on its own. Dividends reinvested. You cross $100,000 on a Wednesday in October. You look at the balance 3 times. You don't smile. You don't celebrate. You put your phone down. 6 figures. The number your father talked about like it changed things. It doesn't feel like anything. But something has quietly changed. Look at the math. In year 1, your money grew about $800 on its own. This year, it grew about $8,000. The compounding is doing work your job used to have to do. The dividend now is $333 a month. A full month of groceries. Eggs, chicken, bread, rice, coffee, milk, apples, the frozen vegetables you eat with everything. Marcus at work refinances his truck. You've been driving the same 2016 Honda since you were 23. You have no plans to change. The third rule, at $100,000, the market starts working harder than you do. You are 33. 4 years since 6 figures. You raised your contribution to $1,200 a month, maxing your 401 and adding to a taxable account on top. $57,000 in new money over 4 years. About $90,000 in growth. Reinvested dividends. You're at $250,000. The dividend is $833 a month. That's your car payment. That's your insurance. That's your registration. That's your gas. The car you drive is an 8-year-old Honda with 89,000 miles. Bluetooth still works. You paid it off 4 years ago. The dividend that covers your car payment doesn't actually pay a car payment. It just sits there. Because you don't have one. Marcus is on his 3rd truck. Payment is $780. You don't tell him yours is 0. You're engaged. Simple ring, simple wedding. Your fiancé thinks you're saving for a down payment. You are. You're also doing something else you haven't told her about yet. The 4th rule. At $250,000, an entire category of your life has been permanently paid for by a machine you set in motion 9 years ago. You are 36, $500,000. 3 more years of contributions at $1,500 a month. $54,000 in new money. But the real story is the growth. Your $250,000 became $446,000 without you adding a dime. That's what long-term returns do at scale. This is where the internet has an opinion. The 4% rule the guideline financial planners use for retirement says that if you have 25 times your annual expenses invested, you can withdraw about 4% a year and reasonably expect the money to last. It's not a law. Markets can crash. Inflation can spike. But it's the working answer. Your annual expenses are around $40,000. 25 times $40,000 is $1 million. You're halfway there. The dividend is $1,666 a month. That's your rent. Small one-bedroom. Quiet street. Old building. Rent has been $1,650 for 2 years because your landlord likes you. You do the math one Sunday. If you never bought another share, you could survive. Not lavishly, but you could survive. That thought stays with you for a week. The fifth rule, at $500,000 you own a floor. You cannot be pushed below it. You are 41. $1 million. 5 more years of contributions at $1,800 a month, plus your bonus each year. About $130,000 in new money. $500,000 in growth. The compounding is now doing more in 1 year than you contributed all decade. Your annual expenses have crept to $45,000 small lifestyle inflation. A slightly nicer apartment. 25 times $45,000 is about $1.125 million. You're basically there. Not quite. But basically. The word millionaire fits you now. You don't say it out loud. It fits like a coat you keep in the back of the closet. You don't quit. You go to work Monday. But something in the way you sit in your chair is different, and your boss can feel it and doesn't know why. He offers you a raise to lead the new team. You take it. Not because you need it. Because it doesn't cost you anything you weren't already giving. Your account paid $40,000 in dividends that year. The sixth rule, at $1 million, the math has almost caught up to your life. You could stop and it would probably work. You keep the buffer anyway. Because probably and definitely are different words. You are 44. 3 more years. You mostly stopped contributing after the promotion. Your account was doing more on its own than you could add. The market did what the market does. $1 million became $1.5 million without you doing much. Your expenses are around $50,000 a year. 25 times $50,000 is $1.25 million. You're at $1.5 million. You have a buffer. You have a cushion for the years when the market drops 30%. You have room for inflation. A 4% withdrawal covers your life with room to spare. You hand in your notice on a Tuesday. Your boss asks why. You say, it's just time. He offers you another raise. He offers you a title. You say no. Politely, firmly once, he asks what you're going to do. You say you're not sure yet. He nods. He doesn't understand. He can't. He's making $180,000 a year and spending $175,000 and doesn't know how to stop. You clean out your desk at 4:30. Small cardboard box. 10-year-old Honda. You get home at 5:03. Your wife asks how work was. You say, I quit today. She sits down. She asks if you're okay. You say yes. You explain, over dinner, what you've been building for 20 years. She cries a little, in a way that isn't sad. The seventh rule, at $1.5 million for a person spending $50,000 a year, a job becomes optional. Not because the money is enormous, because the number finally exceeds 25 times what your life actually costs. You are 48. 4 years since you quit. You took out around $50,000 a year, a little less than 4%, and let the rest keep working. The market averaged around 7% during those years. Your account grew from $1.5 million to $2 million while you were living your life. You've stopped checking. You used to check every day. Then every week. Then every month. You don't remember the last time. You wake up at $7 instead of $4.45. You make coffee. You read for an hour. You go for a walk in a neighborhood that has been there the whole time, but you never had a Tuesday morning free to see. You walk past a Mercedes dealership on Main Street. You don't slow down. Your car is a 12-year-old Corolla. Your wife teaches yoga 3 mornings a week. She makes $600 a month from it. You bring her lunch on the days she teaches. Marcus from your old company calls sometimes. He's 51. He's tired. He asks how you did it. You say, slowly. He waits for more. You don't have more. You never needed $10 million. You needed roughly 25 times what your life actually costs. You built that number by saving what you could, investing it in something boring, and not touching it for 2 decades. The 8th rule, at $2 million, the number stops needing you to think about it. What's left is time. And time is the only thing money was ever really buying. Somewhere right now, someone is 24. They have $500. They just opened a brokerage app. They're about to buy a boring 3-letter ETF their friend at work has never heard of. The dividend that month will be about $1.66. Enough for half a coffee they didn't buy. The number they're building toward isn't a headline. It isn't $10 million. It isn't private jets. It's a personal number 25 times whatever their life actually costs. For someone spending $40,000 a year, that's $1 million. For someone spending $100,000 a year, that's $2.5 million. For someone spending $200,000 a year, it's $5 million. The number isn't a fixed answer. The number is your annual spending. Markets don't move in straight lines. Returns aren't guaranteed. Inflation eats into the math. Taxes and healthcare will shift the number. This is a working answer, not a promise. But it's a working answer that has held up for a long time. You don't need a certain amount of money to never work again. You need enough invested to pay for the life you want to live. And the smaller you keep the life, the sooner the math shows up. You are the same person at every balance. The account just decides who you are becoming by what you feed it.